What's that runway look like?
Digital is always king.
People gladly pay to avoid.
Last year was 800,000.
Welcome to Franchise Focus. Today we're talking about one of the most memorable brands in franchising, Doody Calls. Well, if this episode resonates with you, head to the link below and complete the form, and I'd love to connect. Yes, we're going there. Strong name, serious business. This brand sits inside Authority Brands, so you'll get scale, systems, and support behind business most people laugh about until they see the numbers. Doody Calls solves an unglamorous problem people gladly pay to avoid: pet waste removal, yard deodorizing, commercial cleanups, recurring revenue, high retention, low drama, no emergency calls. Chad Harrison joins me today. He works closely with owners across the system and sees what separates top performers from the rest. If you ever wondered how a business with a name like this turns into a real asset, stay with us. So welcome, Chad. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Laura, for having us. Yeah, we're definitely, number one in the number two business, right? All sorts of fun there for sure.
I
Yeah,
love that.
thank you for the introduction.
There must be no end to the puns and the conversations with
Yeah.
what's the funniest thing someone's ever called the name, either by your team or a candidate?
Yeah, I would say, and I'll try to keep it clean for our recording here, but you guys are the SHIT. I've heard that before. So it's that one got me for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah.
that's good. Well, let's walk through a little bit about your background and how you came into working with Duty Calls, and then kind of walk through the model of it and help people understand why this is such an important service for homeowners.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a background in restaurant management, 10, 15 years in that range, and a number of different restaurants. So always, to that capacity, I always just love the conversation like we have with our candidates and entrepreneurs out there. And within our relationships too. But got into franchising. I don't know if you know David Montanez in our group.
Hmm.
He interviewed me and, franchising. Yeah, right. As everyone first thinks about, yeah, I see them all over the street, McDonald's and so forth. That's the limit. But
Yeah,
it's such a big industry and there's so many different types of franchises. So it's just fascinating and just fell in love with it. And then of course got into the Duty Calls, Authority Brands first. Authority Brands, our 14 home services, worked in a number of different brands, 1 hour heating, hair, and so forth. And came to Duty Calls and just loved it because you can make the comparison. All of our brands are excellent in one way or another, but in terms of what they focus on. But this one was just, Duty Calls is just so simple. It's like I love the quote, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. It just really lines up that way.
that's a great.
Yeah, yeah. And then you've got pet ownership behind there. And then
Hmm.
some great numbers. Really why our franchisees, we've added 25 new franchisees this year, pretty much kind of consistent to that pace. But the reason why, they just see the need for the business. Like you mentioned, usually nobody wants to pick it up, especially
Hmm.
when winter comes or it's too hot outside. And yeah, should we just have a service that's just adding value and customers love it. And we keep it simple, but we stay ahead too, as niche as the industry is. Some competitors out there definitely stay ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely seeing more competition around my area as of late too, which is good, right? You see that people are willing to spend in that. How does someone typically scale in this business? What's that runway look like?
Yeah. So coming in, starting out owner operator, semi absentee owner operator, of course, just being in that business, with the idea of eventually adding technicians and working on the business instead of
Hmm.
semi absentee day one. If they chose to, they've got a W-2 they want to maintain, 15 hours a week average. And so either one of those scalings, always start with one truck. And then we
Okay.
scale into that second truck. And of course, we got that process with coaches that work with them alongside as they franchise business consultants, coaches work alongside as they scale up and getting to that second truck, next territory. That's our scale really. And it's always efficient on the front end, starting with that one truck and scaling in from there.
And what is the hope per territory, like the number of trucks? How does that
Yeah. So you can
math work?
see our highest grossing, and this isn't in the FDD, highest grossing territory last year was $800,000. You're looking at maybe 5 to 6 trucks in that number. So it's
Okay.
each territory has a lot of potential. And as you start to look into the territory, the size of the territory is just it's having 5 to 10% of the market, you're doing very, very good.
Yeah, no, I would imagine. Okay. So when the owner, if it's owner operator, what are they typically doing on
Mhm.
a day in, day out?
Yeah. So you're a lot of engagement. We see engagement as a big part of the success. And of course, there's definitely the scooping side, the simplicity of that. And I mean, that's such a quick process to it. And then all the automation behind it. But day in the life is going to be, for an owner operator, engagement with the team, talking with the brand president, marketing team, and so forth, and driving that growth. And then also boots on the ground, then just running from route to route. We've got a software that helps them route their business, making sure they're running the most efficient routes. And no matter how many trucks they have, this is something we just added last year, Service Minder. It's excellent software. They can see as they scale up where their technicians are, quickly moving from visit to visit. They don't have to worry about the phones, which is just a big advantage. Call center. It's 24/7,
Fantastic.
365. Yeah, they're commission based team that we run and operate, and then they schedule, book, price, and get the credit cards for all the customers. So marketing
Wow.
side, we do a lot of strategy, of course, from the marketing side, build out the website SEOs, make sure they're top of these searches. So that's what's interesting. As soon as you start to see what like an owner operator does, it's just limited to that part of the business, the scooping, and then engagement, communication with the team, and then focus on the growth. It's really kind of streamlined that way.
Wow, wow, that's incredible. So, how does the marketing work? How does someone, is there education that goes on to make people aware that this even exists? Or are you typically getting people that, hey, I just don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a combination. We'll still walk into some pretty good markets and they're just not familiar with the service. And then others have their dogs and they're just like, yes, I don't want to do this anymore. So please come do this for me. And then we're on what's interesting. So we have two types of customers: residential, of course, the individual home takes about
Yep.
8, 10 minutes in and out. And the big advantage here is we don't have to go in the house. So we don't have
Right.
to work to a schedule that works for the customer. We can control our own schedules. And then the commercials, petway stations with the trash can at the bottom, the bags up top, they're usually green. That's HOAs, apartment complexes, condos.
Yep.
It's really growing. Dog parks. And we have some franchisees at the international airports because they're taking pets everywhere.
Right. Right. Our city has them everywhere. I'm wondering if, yeah, if even opportunities like that, if they'd be willing to not have their employees do that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what the advantage, of course, as you know, Laura, with the franchises, we've got that system in place. We know how do you gain that business that has their maintenance crew doing and an egg
Hmm.
happened to me in my apartment complex. We lived in Nashville. They had the maintenance crew doing it, and they didn't want to do it. They were overfull. They didn't clean them, and it was
Right.
just a bad mess. No pun intended.
Right.
But we know how to gain that business, and that the candidates can be trained, the franchisees can be trained to do that. Um, yeah, it's just a well-oiled machine. 25 years in business, which is hard to believe.
25 years. No,
Yeah,
I did not know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Wow. That's fantastic. And how long you been franchising?
So about 20. Yeah.
Wow. How many locations?
We have 100 locations. So that's another advantage is always in franchise, no matter what model is what's available, right? And we still have a great white space. So
Okay.
yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah.
What's the investment for someone typically coming in?
Investment coming, you're under 100,000. And with that 100,000, you've got about 30 to 40,000 cash on hand. Not that you need it all, but that you have it is the key.
Yeah.
So really well positioned. So you're around 45 to 50 investment. And to your point before about being a part of the Authority Brands franchise, I mean, Duty Calls being a lower cost investment, they get discounts of being an AB
Yeah.
franchisee, get into other brands. Yeah. So it's just,
Are there national account possibilities with this as well?
there are, yeah, good question. Corporate relationships we develop with HOAs, sponsors, and then of course National Council of Landscaping Companies that work nationwide, and they don't want to pick this up. So that's another
Right.
advantage. Is usually nobody wants to do it. It's kind of an ego thing after a while for some groups and
Sure.
companies. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, because it's a mess when landscaping comes in after.
yeah.
What are some early mistakes that that you guys try to coach franchisees to
Mm,
avoid?
good question. It's just following the system, not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? I think something I definitely talk with, the entrepreneurs is grassroots. So becoming a member of the Chamber of Commerce, getting out there and driving value in the community in any way in shape or form to kind of grow that value of the business. And
Right.
definitely that coachable side. Yeah.
Fantastic. And then hiring, how does Authority Brands help? How do you coach to who to hire? I think I
Yeah.
remember you talking once about senior citizens. Sometimes they're doing this or
Yeah, yeah, we have some pastors. Have it really is. That's one of the advantages of this business. I mean, there's some industries that require certain trade, certain technical side and skill. For us, I mean, there's no skill level, so it's a big labor pool. And
right.
you mentioned, senior citizens, college students, and we've figured out, especially like Amy Wise is an 18-year franchisee and one of our coaches, consultants in Houston. She
Okay.
said that they figured out kind of that formula to finding the right technicians. What do you ask them in an interview? Making sure it's very clear up front. Hey, this is what I expect out of you. So even if someone coming in with not having any experience in hiring or who is the right technician, all of that support's going to be there. At the end of the day, they just simply decide who they want and fits their culture.
Wow. So a customer sees typically a digital ad or what or some type of advertisement, whether it's print, digital. They call in and then walk me through. So the call center's literally booking it right then and there, telling them
Yeah.
the price if they want to schedule or not. Is that
Yeah, that's exactly it. So the franchisees, it takes about a month to get up and running, onboarding, getting your systems, getting your truck. And that last week this might be one I could have mentioned early on is poop school. We developed poop school for our candidates. And with poop school, they've got that last week and then that soft opening is Monday. And
soft
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, gee, yeah. I mean, think about that one. That's great. There you go. There you go. I got another one now. Thank you.
poop we want to all avoid?
Yeah, but and so that Monday will be their opening, and it's getting up the systems and processes, and the team there, of course, is support, and yeah, it's just digital is always king. Digital, social media, lots
Okay.
of things are still effective too. It's interesting. Door hanger, so many different tactics. Some of our franchisees have gotten on radio stations, and usually this ends up being for free because they love new businesses, and then of course it's pet related.
Really?
Franchisee Jeff Lawanka in Long Island got to blast on a local radio station across Long Island. Yeah, Doody Calls. Went in there saying, "Hey, I'll do your guys' yards for free." Like, no, 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 but tell us about your business. It was like the perfect intro. So
Holy cow.
yeah,
Very clever. Huh.
yeah,
That is very neat. So it seems like this could be an opportunity for a lot of different people, whether they want a lower investment or they want a way to keep their job. What am I talking to people like that all the time? Any other traits that you guys have found, make good franchisees that they're happy in the system?
yeah. It's and that's one of the advantages. I mean, definitely as look into a franchise. What is the operations team like? The brand president, so the support. And through our processes, Laura, always all the entrepreneurs will meet everybody on the team, and we've got a solid team, fantastic group. I mean, they really, really do care, and they're looking to scale up with the partner with our franchisees. So solid ops team. And then what I'm seeing coming through too, it's interesting. We've had franchisee that came into Houston that had a commercial cleaning business, looked at our numbers, love the numbers. Their commercial cleaning business grosses $10 million a year. So just a large scale operation, and Duty Calls fit for him. He's like, I love the numbers. I've got one of the videos I would share with your entrepreneurs, but and analytical our accountants that have come in. And of course, the people that have their pets that say, okay, yeah, I know this service. And so I think for your listeners, I wouldn't really, for any of them, think that maybe they're not a fit. We really have a big mix.
Wow.
And then, yeah, and then that support for the model, just follow the system. Engagement is a big part of success that we see.
When an owner gets a new customer, how are they creating that relationship? Since the customer typically is booking through the appointment center, how are they keeping that
That's
customer?
actually a really, really good question. Never had that before too, and I like that. It's through our CRM. So through our software, all sorts of communication, you can customize it. We have marketing you can customize too, like for some of our veteran franchisees, maybe some of our women business owners out there, minority, what we consider
Hmm.
women business owners can market that way. So we can customize and they can use that CRM to have that build that relationship. Commercial is a little different. There'll definitely be a lot more content
Yeah.
than the residential. Yeah.
Are you taking the poop with you guys, or are you leaving it on? or is there two different price points for that, or how does that work?
Yeah, I got a great story too. When I was
Yeah.
younger, my dad made me do that. I hated it too. I was like, Dad, and you made me do the trash too. I was like, why do I got to do the trash and the. But I have to be honest. And at one point, I was just like, that's it. I want to. So tossed it in the corner for a little while. And the neighbor eventually was like, my dad was Don. Is like, Don, it's terrible smell. So yeah, you got to get rid of it. Most of the time, residential, some customers may say, hey, it's fine in my trash can because we tie it up. It's nice and neat. There's nothing dirty about this job.
Right.
And then some will be like, hey, I bring my trash can in at night, HOA, please take it away. And then, of course, the commercial side we usually do. So this is where we get creative is because we don't have a brick and mortar, we'll share a cost with with another business, with a dumpster and such. There, yeah. Same with our trucks in some ways. Sometimes another question, what do we do with our trucks at night? Some technicians will take them home.
Yeah.
In other ways, we'll share again parking spots of another business owner where it's secure and safe and until it's
That's creative. Yeah, very creative. Any yeah, funny stories that franchisees have shared with.
yeah, yeah, they've got a few stories where, there's certain when it rains, be careful of the big bags, like the commercial petway stations. You don't grab them, then you give it a little while, it gets a little messy. But we actually have our highest grossing franchisee last year, Hazael Pareja, is a Peruvian immigrant. He was actually a technician, started out as a technician,
I love that.
Austin, San Antonio. He grossed 3.1 million last year for picking up dog do. So it's an
That is
interesting,
amazing. How
yeah.
many territories does he have?
He's got about 9 units.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome way to scale.
Yeah.
What are some things people assume about this business that maybe is incorrect?
Yeah. Through LinkedIn, I've done another different number of different videos or episodes, I call them, on common misconceptions. And first of all, it's like we were talking about technicians. We have
Hmm.
great retention. Usually they think, oh, you can't get any technician. Who wants to do this? We have great retention, big labor pool, no seasonality. And sometimes they'll think, hey, you stop during the snow, but no, dogs keep doing what they do.
Hmm.
Essential service. So, as you know, we have our trades on our side too. We consider essential. This one, the 25 years in business, we just don't get impacted by much. It's interesting. People, once they get this service, they don't want to go back to it.
Wow.
We've seen it in natural disasters, unfortunately, when things that happen, like in Houston, some flooding.
Yeah.
Amy Wise, who I mentioned, thought she was out of business. All
Yeah.
of those customers came back. Retention's fantastic. And yeah, it's just an interesting business and just very, very sophisticated, as we joke around, very sophisticated for a poo business. We've got all the systems and processes to hit our numbers like any other business, but have a little fun while we do it too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's one of those why boring businesses often
Yeah.
build the strongest businesses,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And clearly people are sticking with it. I mean, that is really huge.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
any other things across in terms of the operations or the back end from Authority Brands and the support they're providing? What does someone have to look forward to there?
Yeah, the advantage with Authority Brands just being a multi-billion-dollar company, bringing in the talent. So bringing in the talent for like Michelle, who's our marketing manager.
Hmm.
When she was with Wolfie's, one of our other sister
Yep.
companies, and she's just got the talent, the expertise, bringing in the capital too to grow and scale this business. We just enhanced our software last year. Again, like I mentioned with the ops team, Larry working with
Right.
the franchisees, what can we do better with our software? And we enhance that. Just having the advantages of the systems and processes, again, the talent too. When we bought Doody Calls in 2018, there were 30 franchises, and now we have 100. So it's scaled up pretty quick. Yeah.
When someone starts off with keeping their job and they're looking for, I guess, a manager, or what does that business model typically look like? Are they hiring straight into a GM type of role, or is it more of a lead person?
Yeah, it depends on the franchisee. They can do either or. If they want to give a little more to the GM, sort of little maybe some equity or some advantage, a higher salary. Especially because this business model we can run out of state. So if let's say you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you can run in Florida, you can run in South North Carolina because of the simplicity of our model. It's just a matter of getting that guy in place, that talent.
Wow, good point.
Yeah, in those cases, you might have like a GM, maybe locally too. But I mean, at the end of the day, really just a technician. I'm just
Okay.
needing a technician. And again, all that recruitment support is there. Who we're
Yeah.
looking for, and for them to get a good gauge on controlling that labor too, right?
Yeah.
Making sure.
Yeah.
managing it efficiently.
Excellent. Anything else that you think is important to go over?
Yeah, it's availability. I mean, the opportunity for this brand again, Nashville, Memphis. There's just a lot of opportunity. Indianapolis, Minneapolis,
Okay.
quite a bit of California. And again, the competition is very limited and for the most part. And what competition is out there? We've just got the systems and processes, the team. We're just ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. And some of those are just one truck, yeah, competition or whatnot.
Mm.
Yeah. Yep. But well, no, I think this is great. I really appreciate it. I love these models, these simpler models. And then this is a great one that, truly can be done with someone keeping their job, which um isn't always possible, but sounds like this is very doable with that.
Yeah.
That's great. I appreciate your time, Chad. Thanks so much. Learning about the dog poop business.
Yes. Yes. Go figure. Who knew?
Right? No.
Yeah, yeah. It's they just say friends don't let friends step in it, right? So when you're having like a party as spring comes, man, you don't want to bring friends over and people are stepping in.
So true. It's
Don't be
mortifying.
that guy.
Yeah, don't be that
Yeah, yeah.
great. All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks, folks, for listening in here. And before you explore any more franchise options, take a few minutes to understand if you're wired to be an owner. There's an assessment link below, and I'd love to connect with you. Thanks again.